All right, Adam, we're starting season 2, and I had this funny thought. Better Call Saul. What Will Smith song do you think describes this show the most? Like, I was thinking, like, maybe like Wild Wild West, because Albuquerque's the Wild Wild West. Maybe Men in Black and White. Get it? Yeah. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Switch. Welcome back to the Almost Sideshow. We are streaming live from West Philadelphia, born and raised. This is Adam, and that is Terry. We are really excited to be talking Saul yet again. Season 2 is here. Episode 1, titled Switch.
By the way, Todd says that you probably shouldn't use Talkin' Saul because that was an actual TV show that came out as the episodes came out. Yeah, so that's already been taken. Sorry.
Welcome to Saul Talk. That's called a pivot. I forgot to look at when this came out, but this is a very interesting episode. He's wearing that pinky ring with pride. It's like his mood.
He is. All right. Well, let's talk about it. You probably turn your mic up just a tiniest little bit more.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Let's do our synopsis here as we kick off season 2. Better Call Saul, season 2, episode 1 is entitled Switch. I'm not singing the song. Not going to do it. I can do it. All right. Here's our synopsis. We start Back to the Future, seeing Jimmy/Saul stuck in the garbage room at the Omaha mall he works at, carving his initials in a wall. No more info on the black and white scenes, though. I guess we'll have to wait till next season again to get anything else. When we get back to the past, we start where we left off. Jimmy turns down the Davison, Maine offer and confides in Mike on the way out of the courthouse. Mike moves on and goes for another job with Price, who now has the loudest car ever made. Mike says he won't go in that ridiculous Hummer. So Price fires him. He's useless anyways. He doesn't need him anymore. He just stands there. And Nacho's coming up by himself now. What's the point? So he goes on his next exchange, and Nacho takes advantage of the one-on-one meet, swipes his name and address out of the car. So eventually he goes and trashes the place, grabbing everything of value, including his very valuable baseball card collection. Price calls the cops, who get suspicious with how much money he has working in IT. I'm sure that will go somewhere later. In the meantime, Jimmy is living the relaxed life, chilling in a hotel pool, putting drinks on someone else's tab. Kim comes to talk, and Jimmy tells her that he's done doing whatever Chuck wants him to do. He doesn't want to impress him anymore. He wants to live his life. Then Kim sees what Slippin' Jimmy can actually do, and that she's quite the natural at it as well. As they swindle some $50 shots out of the one and only Ken Wins, poured by quite the recognizable blonde, doomed to be hated for sleeping with Beneke later, Kim sees Jimmy in a very different light.
Wait, what?
You missed that? You missed that. Ha ha ha! Kim sees Jimmy in a very different light. That light happens to end up being in her bedroom. In the morning, Kim goes off to work. Jimmy goes back to his lazy river, but eventually he calls back Davison, Maine, and decides to give it a shot. You totally missed that. Skylar's pouring the shots.
No, wait.
Skylar's pouring the shots. It's totally Skylar that pours the shots.
I read this whole paragraph multiple times on the wiki.
It's totally Skylar White, pouring those shots of what's it called again?
Sanfrio
and Zafiro Añejo. Skylar White, you missed it. She's a bartender. She's tending bar. Remember? That's where Walt met her.
Wow. Even in the freaking...
I'm pretty sure
Well, they're not even on the trivia page for this. They don't have her in here either.
Really?
They do.
I'm almost positive that was her.
They have Officer Saxton apparently was in Breaking Bad.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up then, because I am almost positive I saw her. I'm gonna look up that shot. Anyways, what'd you think of the episode?
That's a good episode. Well, it's an interesting episode because it's like kind of we're ending one season. We're kind of tying up some loose ends. We get more Nacho, Michael Mando. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was really stupid. That Hummer, was really smart. Those cops, I think those were the smartest cops I've seen. It's like, yeah, this doesn't add up, huh? And they just moved the couch. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. I kind of wanted to see more of like if Mr. Wormwood.
That is Skylar White, yo.
What? Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That is Skylar White, yo. Wow.
That is Skylar White pouring the shots of tequila. Like it's a weird little moment where it's like, why are we going back and just like showing, because they do like the whole thing, and then like they order the shots, and then they had to go back and show specifically the pouring of the shots, and it just like the shots are getting poured, and then it just pans up and shows the blonde pouring the shots. It's got to be Skylar. And Skylar's the one that gives them the little memento, the little souvenir of the bottle topper. It's got to be. It's got to be. I didn't see her in the cast list. I didn't see anything about it, but it not even in the uncredited, but I'm almost positive that's her. I saw her and I like let out a scream and my kids freaked out. Like, what's wrong? Like nothing at all.
It's Yo. It's her. It's Yo.
Yeah.
It's Mama
nothing
Yo.
At all, Yo. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, continue. We're digressing way too quickly here.
Well, yeah, we're only 9 minutes in, folks. Yeah, if that. Yeah, very solid episode. It feels like a first episode where we're still getting back into these characters. This show did a debut February 16th, by the way, 2016 or February.
There
5th.
It is. Yeah. There it is.
So it's a solid episode. I do like Kim a lot in this episode, and I think we see our good friend. We see a friend of the podcast, and like the opening shots of the show too. Ed Bagley Jr., friend of the pod. Yes. How can we forget?
Why is he a friend of the pod?
Because Batman Forever, and then also Strange
Game.
Game.
Okay.
Yeah. We've
Back
reviewed
to work, Edward.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's a friend of my pod. I don't know.
There we go. There we go.
But yeah, it's fun to see, like, man, him getting trapped in that one room, the garbage room, and he's so afraid of the police because he doesn't want to like his cover and stuff like that because of his past. He can't even. He's just like, I'll just sit here for hours with some screws.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. It's a solid episode. I'm glad that he actually goes back and Coca-Cola desk. Can I get a Coca-Cola desk, please? That'd be awesome.
So, that will be awesome.
Yeah. Solid episode. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool episode. I thought it was definitely setting up a season. We've got Jimmy kind of going through a whole midlife crisis, or what does he call it?
He calls it
mid freedom crisis or something.
Midlife clarity.
Midlife clarity, yeah.
Is it more
like the whole thing in like one episode? Because he's thinking, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? And then he brings it back and decides to go along with it. Partially, I think he just realizes it's the best move and the best play, and he can't be slipping Jimmy forever. So, yeah, and it's cool because it totally feels like a continuation of the last season, but also it's kind of its own thing in setting up a new season and our new dynamics of now Jimmy's going to be working at this other law firm. Him and Kim are getting a little closer.
A little closer.
Well, I mean, was it just a one night thing or I don't know?
Wouldn't it be fun if we did this more often? Yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I really like the episode too. It was a really good episode, kind of setting everything up for what we're going to be seeing.
But still, we're still don't know where it's going, so it's like it has talking points, but not like a lot of talking points, like more detailed talking points that the end of the last season had. But super good. It's a super fun start for these characters, especially seeing Mr. Douchebag himself, Ken Wins.
Okay, so like getting to see Ken Wins, like the second you hear his voice, you're like,
and longer too.
Mm-hmm. We didn't see his car though. That would have been great to see the car, pre destruction from Walter White.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was so cool, and it would we actually got to see him kind of do his thing a little bit, which was nice.
Oops, I didn't read the fine print.
Yeah.
He's like, how much are we talking about? 1.4 million in a trust or whatever he says, and he's like, oh yeah, we can do some business. Let's get a private table. Yeah, we can do this.
So apparently Anna Gunn confirmed that she never popped up in anything in Better Call Saul, but I'm almost positive that was her, right? That looked just like her.
Probably was her, but it wasn't Anna Gunn.
Oh man. Like I thought it was like, this is like the perfect cameo. Because it's just like a split second, she's pouring a shot at a bar.
Okay, I'll give you this. That was Skylar White. If we can all agree that Wendy was in one of those mug shots.
Deal.
Okay, there we go. It was Skylar White all the way. Yeah, it was definitely
all the way. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by this. Because I thought for sure that was her.
Usually it's me distracted.
Yeah. All right. What was the best scene in this episode?
Good call. Good question. The Ken Wins scene is pretty awesome when they're out doing their drinks.
It is.
Victor with a K, and then
Giselle.
Giselle, yeah. Was Tom Brady and Giselle a thing at the time? How did she randomly pick that name? No, this was 2000. It wasn't. They weren't a thing at that time.
Yeah, I don't even know if Giselle was a thing yet. I don't know.
I know, but it's interesting though.
It was just Giselle, like I like that was just that on the fly. You're gonna. I got to pick a name. What name am I gonna pick? Giselle
St. Clair.
I think that's interesting that of all the names Kim could pick as her alias, she went with Giselle.
I know, like
what does that say about Kim?
Yeah, this is true.
Kim Wexler. Which is she was Giselle St. Clair.
This is true. Yeah, that's a good scene. I'm trying to think what I actually had here. I think one of my favorite scenes though, and it's just how it comes across, is anything with Price in it, because he's totally yoing it up. Like he is completely out of your element. And Michael Mando, Nacho is just he sees right through. He's like, no, old guy. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. And you can be swindled.
Yeah, he called it like that. That was great. And he had another pimento on the curb.
He did. He totally did. So I knew that your banner was going to be the SG was here that he put on the wall. Do you know what mine's from?
Yeah, it's the license plate.
It's Price's license plate on the ridiculous Hummer with the flames and the spinners on the
hubs,
on the rims, and then the matching shoes. Don't forget about those.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Goodness gracious. That's interesting.
That's a lot of yellow.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thing. I had the Ken Wins scene. I like getting to watch Ken Wins work because you see it's like, okay, yeah, he's a douchebag, but he's really good at what he does. And he's like, I just walked into this whole thing, and then he sees the bill and like, oh man, how quickly did he realize that he was just completely just played? Like, did he realize it that night, or did he have to wait until later on? Be like, they're not calling me. That there is no they got me. Yeah, I just wanted to get some shots of tequila, $50 shots of tequila.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's funny though. It's great. That was a good scene, but I really like the I also like the scene where Jimmy and Kim are at Kim's apartment. And they're brushing their teeth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good scene.
Wait till you see what I floss with. That's a great line.
It's a great line. It really is. Yeah. But yeah, then anything with Price, like Mike and Price, and like, we're not taking this to the drop. Yeah. Why not? It's like the line he gave was so Mike. I'm trying to remember what I gotta find it here in my notes. Let's see. This meat requires restraint. This is not restraint. Maybe that would have been a good banner too. This is not restraint.
Yeah. Do you think Price knows who robbed him?
No, I don't think he does. I think he's completely oblivious. He had no clue that Nacho would even would think of looking at the registration and swiping his address.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. I don't think he has any clue.
And he's just I don't think we'll ever see that character again. Because why would we? Why would we? Mike, they're not working together unless he reaches out to Mike, like, hey, this my guy contact's not.
I could see something try and come back to Mike, or something come back to Nacho, and then Nacho's got to reach out to Jimmy. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over with Price yet.
Okay.
Anyways, getting ahead of ourselves. The Betsy Kettleman douchebag award.
Well, for the honorary douchebag for the day, Ken wins. He's back.
Ken wins. I mean, the entirety of the last season of the Almost Sideshow. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Down a Breaking Bad.
It's good to hear that every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we were breaking down Breaking Bad, it was the Ken Wins douchebag award because he was the ultimate douchebag, and for almost the whole thing, he was very douchebaggy. I mean, he's the sleaziest character I think either show has ever given us. So, yeah.
It had to be Ken Wins for this episode.
It had to be. Stickman award.
Jimmy.
Not just Jimmy. Slippin' Jimmy.
Slippin'
Jimmy is the Stickman.
Jimmy's
no Stickman. Jimmy's the one that says, is this going to happen? In the middle of the courthouse.
Yeah. Can we talk? Can I talk to you real quick, Kim? Is this going to happen? Is there a future here?
Yeah. And does me taking this job have any bearing on that?
No.
Okay. Yeah. They have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. So, I think it's Slippin' Jimmy. Slippin' Jimmy is
Slippin' Jimmy. Good call.
Is the one. Best new face. Hey, that's Danny Trejo.
Clifford. Yeah. Ed Begley Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Begley.
That's a good one. For sure. It's the most recognizable one probably because it is Ed Begley Jr. I thought of a different one. I'm going with Officer Baker that goes to Price's house. Played by Alex Desert. Desert. I don't know. Anyways, he was in Boy Meets World. So of course he was Mr. Turner's teacher buddy in Boy Meets World and was in like 16 episodes of Boy Meets World. He was in 129 episodes of Becker. That's the other thing I know him from. I know him most from. He played like the blind guy in Becker. Didn't he? No, he didn't play a blind guy. He was in Becker, the show with Ted Danson. But in something, he played like a blind guy. What am I thinking of? He was in High Fidelity. He was in Swingers. Maybe it was High Fidelity.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that movie.
Either.
He played Nick Fury in the animated The Avengers.
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, no, I totally recognized him as soon as he walked in. Like, hey, that's Mr. Turner's buddy. He's kind of got a very recognizable look to him.
Yeah.
So yes, the police officer played by Alex Dessert. That was my pick because yes, Ed Begley Jr. obviously, but I felt like that one almost went without saying because it's Ed Begley Jr. I found a different one, so I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good call though.
You recognize him now that you see a picture of him?
Yeah, I've recognized that guy. Yeah,
He's just got one of those faces that you're like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, that's a good one. That the waiter guy is not the waiter. Omar Mascati.
Oh yeah,
Omar was the guy who was like taking like what do you need? Like, do you need a new desk, a new chair at the law firm that Jimmy starts working at? I've seen that Unbelievable. That was Caitlin Dever, Tony Collette like miniseries about this teenager's charged with lying about being raped by two detectives follow the path of truth, and it's like this crazy like multi-county city like case. It's a crazy Netflix show, but he's in it.
Okay.
So his face,
I like that character.
Very recognizable face.
Yeah, I went with him as my favorite minor character.
Yeah, he was one too.
Because he was just a cool presence in that scene, and they just kind of pops up. Of giving him whatever he wants. It's like, whoa, I actually like have like an assistant.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my favorite minor character. Did you have a favorite minor character?
Yeah, the waiter would be Dave Racky. The waiter at the, he's like, is this correct? Yes, it is. He just walks away. It doesn't take the bill. Yes, it is. So pay it up.
Exactly. That's a good one too. The best Saul one-liner.
Okay. I have 3 written down.
Okay.
I said one. Well, midlife clarity was one of them.
Yes.
Wait to see what I floss with. I think that's the one. That's the winner for me. He's like,
that's a good one.
He's like, no, the business is running you. That's what he says to the
That's a good one too.
Yeah. But mine is wait till you see what I floss with. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Get in the pool and I'll tell you. That's a good one too. Can't die without trying a $50 shot of tequila. Let's see here.
Oh, I forgot to read the fine print, and he's like, ha ha ha.
That was good too. Let's see. Well, what was the other one? Oh, it wasn't a Saul one-liner, but I thought it was one of the best lines of the whole thing, the whole episode. When Kim asked him, "What's your plan?" and he said, "I'm open to the universe." She goes, "What, like Jules at the end of Pulp Fiction?"
Yeah, that's a good line. Yeah,
that may have been my favorite line, even though it wasn't a Saul one-liner. Kim can dish him back just as good as Saul can when she wants to. So that was my pick. I had to find the context. All I wrote down was like Jules at the end of Pulp Fiction. Like, what's the context of that though? All right, best Breaking Bad reference. We've already mentioned Ken Wins. We already mentioned
tequila.
Allegedly Skyler. I think it's Skyler. I'm not going to be convinced otherwise, even though apparently nowhere on the internet does it say that that's Skyler.
The tequila was the same that they killed Don Elalio with, or the cartel guy. It's the same.
That's where I recognize the bottle.
It's the same bottle.
Yes. I mean, if it's good enough for Don Eladio,
yeah,
it's good enough. It's good enough for
Saul.
Yeah.
And then also Officer Saxon first appeared in Breaking Bad as well.
Yes.
He reported.
I was trying to remember.
He appeared at the burglary call at the Skylers for IFT episode.
The burglary
Officer
at
Saxon,
the White residence,
who responds to Daniel Warman. Daniel Warman's burglary call also appeared at Walter and Skyler's house in IFT.
I think it was when she. I think he's the cop who showed up when Walter wouldn't leave, and she calls the cops to try and force him to leave.
Yep, that's the one because I saw a picture of it. I clicked on the episode.
Yeah. And he's like, "Did he hurt you? No.
Mm-hmm.
Has he harmed you in any way? No." It's like, you gotta give me something here. Yeah, I think that's now that you mention, I think that's where it comes from. Okay. The midlife crisis moment of the episode.
Midlife having a Hummer H2. No. It could be it.
Well, it wasn't blue though, so we can't go with that.
It's not the bomb. Midlife
blue, but it's the bomb.
This is the most relatable moment, right? Yeah.
Yes, most relatable moment.
Yeah, being tempted to touch that thing not to touch.
Yes.
Being tempted not to.
The second it showed that there was some over there, he's gonna go turn it off. I like how nothing happened. That's the best part.
Okay. So that's funny. Nothing happened. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll turn it back on and put the thing back.
Yeah. It's just a test.
Mm-hmm. That was good. The one I went with for midlife crisis moment is don't touch my collection. Like, I don't care about anything else, but my collection is very precise in where it is and what it is and how it is.
And how's it doing?
Oh man, look at how they trash it. But look at what they did to my collection. Like
my
that moment.
Cheater.
See, at first when he said my baseball cards, I thought he was like saying, "Oh, my baseball cards." That's what they took, thinking like, "Oh yeah, I just left all the meds sitting on a shelf over here, and they took my baseball cards." But then he's talking about, oh no, he's actually geeking out about his baseball card collection that was stolen.
Have you seen my baseball, dude? Have you seen my baseball, Brett? Have you seen my baseball cards, Brett? Yeah. There's something about Mary. Yeah.
I would not have gotten that reference if you hadn't.
You wouldn't have?
Qualified it there. No. I wish I had his baseball card collection though. I will say that.
Yeah.
And they were treating it like, okay, but here's a flaw in this whole thing though. Like they're treating it like, okay, baseball cards. Okay, we're freaking out about baseball cards now. But then you go back to the story that was told during season 1 about one of our other familiar faces, and that's Tweener from Prison Break, who ends up in the maximum security prison for like 20 years because he stole a box of baseball cards, and there happened to be a Honus Wagner in there and got charged with grand larceny for it. Like, some of those baseball cards are a big deal. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, okay, you lost your baseball cards. Oh no.
Well, because they saw through it. They're like, they left the TV, they left the computer, Hummer.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also talking about baseball cards that are worth a couple $1,000s each.
True.
And they're treating it like, oh, okay, we'll go check some kids' bike spokes. But when it's like, no, you don't understand. These are like legit things here.
Mm-hmm.
But then they did see through it a little bit, and he was too dumb to realize
they had seen through it.
Well, not only that they'd seen through it, but you're dealing in criminal activity. You don't call the cops to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? It's begging for them to ask questions.
Yeah, there's too many. Yeah. There's too many questions, Edward. Too many
Just
questions.
too many questions. Too many questions. I was going the same place as you were starting.
There's too many questions.
Well, riddle me this.
Back to work, Edward.
To work, Edward. All right. Yeah, on a similar vein, my LVP is Price. He's just
That's what I had
horrible.
to.
And I think he's going to cause some headaches for some characters coming up here. So my LVP is Price.
Interesting. That's my LVP too.
Okay. MVP?
Water floaties and waterproof Ziploc bags.
My MVP is Ken Wins.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Ken Wins. Like nothing has made me happier in Better Call Saul so far than seeing Ken Wins just randomly show up at the bar.
It's headset guy. There he is. How you doing? Just put it out to pasture.
Yeah, that was a great moment. It was a great moment.
Yeah.
I like my word. The things that he just randomly says, like we could have gone with Ken Wynn's one-liners and all the stuff that he was spouting off, but he was saying it so fast I couldn't actually process any of it.
He said something about like a queef of some kind. I don't know. He said something like, and then he said something like you need to just go out in like a pasture and like put like a pillow over it until it like stops. Like I don't know. There are so many crazy like things he says that it would be fun just to kind of go back and rewatch just what his phone call is.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I thought Price's stuff was going to be over, but the more you were talking too, I think that there's a possibility where it could be a whole lot of mess for the character, and that's where they need to go with Saul Goodman or to get a lawyer as well. So I like how we're getting.
I think because Price knows Nacho's name, and he's not going to hold up well under interrogation. So he's gonna spill Nacho's name
And Mike's,
and Nacho is a known commodity
who was just in for the other robbery,
right? So Nacho's gonna end up getting called in, and he's gonna call his lawyer, and now his lawyer is at a big law firm, and is this gonna jeopardize what he's doing at Davis and Maine with the Sandpiper case? I think that's where Price being an idiot is going to end up going, and then maybe that gets Mike back involved. I don't know if Price. I don't think Price will spill Mike's name because Mike was out of it at that point, because his services were no longer needed apparently, and
he's had two different visions.
Yeah. So I think that whole thing is going to be a spark plug to a lot of stuff that's coming up.
I like that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's interesting. We didn't see any Chuck this episode either. No Chuck.
True. Well, we didn't have a need to see Chuck. The only time we saw Howard was the flashback to the scene we missed at the end of last season of him turning down Davis and Maine. Like Howard was on screen for like 2 seconds. So, yeah.
You think Kim and Saul or Jimmy are going to continue their relationship like that?
I think they're going to continue to be on again, off again.
Yeah.
Which is what they've kind of been this entire time.
Yeah.
So,
Kim's a pretty awesome character. So we didn't really know anything about her for the first little bit, but now getting more into the story with her, I think that's a pretty awesome character. That's gonna be pretty vital for the rest of the show, obviously.
Yeah. I think so. So. Like she's. And why don't we see her or hear from her at all in Breaking Bad? That's what I'm curious to hear.
Yeah,
where is she during the whole Breaking Bad thing?
Yeah, those two characters. Where's Nacho? Where's Kim in Breaking Bad? It's very
because we know the black and white scenes are the post Breaking Bad Saul moments.
Oh, what if she shows up in one of those? Ooh.
Well, all we've seen so far is him watching his commercials out of nostalgia and getting locked in a garbage room and writing SG was here on the wall.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get, but we're just scratching the surface of starting the season. So I'm excited. We got season 1 behind us. We're getting into season 2. This is anything like Breaking Bad. It's just gonna keep going ramping up as we go, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too. Well, looking forward to talking about more Saul talk next week. That's gonna be weird. More Saul talk going on next week with Terry and Adam. And this is a shout out if you guys have contact info. Ed Begley Jr. We would love to interview you for the pod. So there you go. Shout out to Ed.
There
Begley.
you go.
So
we'll get him on. We'll get him on. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then also we need to get the guy that your number 1 draft pick at the draft, the Breaking Bad draft. Who did you draft again? It was not Badger, but it was Skinny Pete. Go. Yeah, we need to get Skinny Pete on too.
Oh, I'm Skinny Pete.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one too.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody. We got one thing to do left.
Better Call Saul.
Listen, spin your buttholes.
Buttholes.